absolutely insane switches on this thing. I can literally ignore all those other things I mentioned strictly because I like the switches so much. Today's board is the Lofree Flow 2. The Lofree Flow is interesting. I like low profile stuff. I think I've told you guys, like, I really like typing on laptops, for example, but I really like typing on low profile stuff. Lofree reached out to me and they were like, hey, do you want to take a look at this board? I said, sure. So they sent me over this board, but don't worry, that's not going to affect anything here. I actually have a bunch of notes, including pain points, as well as some good stuff about the board. It is a really cool product, but it has shortcomings and it has some stuff that I do think can be considered almost not problematic per se, but I do wish some stuff would change in it. I want to just talk about what this is. It's a 65%, but they also have different layouts. Aluminum chassis, they put new switches in here. Apparently it has VIA support, which I haven't checked out yet. That is the one thing I'm waiting for you guys to do. But they did a pretty cool job with styling. Here, let me put the feet back up here. I like the overall quality of this case. They're also touting that the aluminum case has been, how can I word this? They've made sure it's like better quality. You know, it looks cool. It looks neat. I don't mind the way this looks at all. It is a cool looking keyboard. You know, it even has some LEDs, which are a little bit tough to see with my studio lights here, but it's a pretty cool looking keyboard. Design-wise, as cool as this is, I already have some problems with the design. Number one, the Lofree symbol over here, I think is tacky. I don't even know why this is over here. I really don't understand why they need to put a Lofree symbol on the bottom right corner. I've always been against large branding on visible fronts of the keyboard. No one's going to forget what keyboard you bought, you know, like, you're not going to be like, by the way, what brand did I buy again? You know, they have it on the back. They can just put Lofree on the back somewhere. Easy peasy. Number two, the volume touchscreen on the side. Why? I don't understand why it's there. There's so much empty space on the front over here. Why didn't you just put it over here? I just don't get it. Like, it makes no sense to me. I was actually looking up other people's reviews on this and just to see what other people are saying, as well as Reddit comments and community people, because this is on Kickstarter right now. It seems like a lot of people are complaining that they're hitting the side of their keyboard with the mouse. I don't get how that's happening. This keyboard's not big enough for that for me. Like, unless you're kind of cramped like this, which again, maybe it's your posture, I don't know. I just could not get this to happen. Like, there's no possible world where I'm putting the mouse this close to the damn keyboard. And even so, like, my thumb would be the first thing to hit this. So I don't think that is an issue. People are making it seem like that's like the biggest issue. For me, it's just functionality wise, like, you'd have to feel around first or look to see where the touchscreen starts. That's the big problem for me. My big problem is you'd probably look down anyways. Why not just put it on the top? My next issue, it's also an issue, but it's also a non-issue. Let's just say you have a cable that you absolutely love, right? Bruh, why is this here? Again, there's empty space on the back. What was the point of putting it on the side? They do give you a really cool cable. Like, it's a nice cable. It's a right aligned cable. It's USB-C. I already made sure it works with other cables. But I feel like, why? Like, it's a bad design decision, in my opinion. Yeah, there could be people who like 90-degree cables, but you also have to think, like, if you have a themed out desk and this doesn't go with your theme, then you're kind of boned. That's my, like, remember I told you guys it's like an issue, but also a non-issue because it still works. Like, they give you a cable to make it work as well. I feel like this is also a bit of a overblown issue, maybe. There's a toggle for the Bluetooth and all that stuff and the off button, but it's underneath this foot. It is stupid. Like, I don't agree that the product should have this underneath the foot. Like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But it's not like, again, I don't think that's like overblown. For how many times you'll probably touch that, I don't think it's like the worst issue in the world. Again, probably would have made more sense on the back over here. They could have even just made the buttons and everything silver and kind of made it really look pretty on the back. But, you know, they wanted to hide it, and that's fine. Now, again, I know I'm kind of ripping on some of this stuff, but I do like the fact that there is a button and it's not hiding in, like, underneath the keycap. I do like those a lot. Visually, I do like the way the keyboard looks. I don't mind this like empty space over here. It looks cool, but I wish maybe they had maybe implemented, again, some sort of touch bar. It could have been even silver to kind of blend in with all this. So again, like I like the way it looks, but I think there are stuff that I wish they just combined it or visually better flowed in this keyboard. I will say another small issue that I kind of like, I don't think is a major issue, but I do see a lot of boards offer this now. I would have liked to see, again, not easy to do with a low profile board, something this small. I would have liked to see a better way to store the USB dongle. For now, basically, it's in a box. It's in here right now. I'm not even using it. I'm using Bluetooth mode. But yeah, you're gonna if you're gonna travel with this keyboard, like it doesn't just stick inside the keyboard, so it is a separate piece. There are a lot of keyboards that are offering, a little dongle hiding spot that kind of is on the keyboard. Would have loved to see that. Other stuff I did like, again, apparently it's VIA compatible. We're gonna test this here in a bit. It has wireless flexibility, so it has the tri-mode, so you get the 2.4 Bluetooth and wired, which is great. They're claiming the battery life is like 30 plus days. I cannot test that at this current time. I'll have to give you guys an update. I do plan on using this for a little while because I do like low profile keyboards. And I do really like the quality of the case. The quality of this case reminds me a lot of some of the customs. I say that with purpose. Because, dude, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, and some of the really cheap stuff, because this is $89 on their Kickstarter. I keep touching the volume when I'm doing this. This is $89 on their Kickstarter, right? Usually, I see really bad silver anno from silver products, but no, the silver anno is really, really good here. I'll give them that. It is extremely good. I like it a lot. This is a very simplistic case. So, it's an all-aluminum chassis, which I like, though, but it's nothing crazy to machine. So the retail price they're aiming for, which if they sell for $189, I'm going to be real, for $189, I'm not 100% sold on this. If they can keep it to what they have on their Kickstarter price right now, their early bird or whatever they want to call it, I like it better at $89, which I know is 50% of what they're charging, but it makes more sense at $89. It's light. I actually have a bunch of comparisons for you guys here too. I wrote down some stuff. So I actually have a Newfie Air 75. It's not with me at the moment. And then I also have some other low profile keyboards. This is on the heavier side because this is aluminum. This is 1.3 kilos according to the website. Other keyboards are like 600 grams or 500 grams. So this is more than double the weight of other low profile keyboards. Is what it is. I mean, like, some people like heavier products. I'm not 100% like this is no bad or good thing. So, it is what it is. I don't mind it, though. I like the heavier, low-profile keyboard. Yeah, dude, I would not pay $189 for this. This is like, I'm kind of in the 130 maximum range for this. 100%. I'm with you, Shiki. I'm 130 max. 89 is really good price for this, though. So I don't have the original low free flow, but from what I read, the keycaps and what they even show off on the website, the keycap profile is different on the OG one. I like these better though. I like that these have a bit more of a laptop kind of feel. The old ones are a little bit more narrow, so they kind of taper upwards and become a little bit more narrow. These have a lot more surface area, which I like, but I don't like the font. I just don't like the typeface. The quality of the keycaps feel a little bit meh to me. But yeah, I don't love the typeface on this. I don't get it why, like, if we're going to do transparent legends, why the typeface is always so ugly. But yeah, I wish it was a little bit better. Like, I don't like the lowercase e at all. I think that looks tacky. And then it looks like bigger on the home key, which again, let the lights turn off and I'll show you guys. But I don't love it. Like, it's not my cup of tea, but it is what it is. It's not terrible, but I like the size of the Legends, though. The Legend size is nice. I like the flip-out feet. They feel good, but they also extend really far outwards, which I don't know if it's like a visual problem for some people, but seemed like that was also a talking point. I don't think it's a visual problem at all. I like that they're aluminum. They also have this rubber piece at the end, so it doesn't feel like it's smacking anything. I like that. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a really cool thing. The keycaps themselves, they feel a little bit cheap. at the same time, like, they feel good. Like, it's weird. They kind of feel like that in between. Like, I'm not sold on the keycaps, but I'm not angry at them. So I'm kind of moot about them. Like, they're nothing to write home about, maybe, is the best word to describe this. One thing I will say, what they killed with this is the switches. Now, there's 3 versions. I think there is a tactile version and a silent version. The silent's more money, which I don't understand why. Dude, the switches are actually sick on this. Dude, I'm telling you, like I said, I have other low-profile keyboards. Right away, when I typed on this thing, I'm like, yeah, this is sick. So despite all the criticism I'm giving it, because I'm trying to be as, like, critical as f***ing possible with this, dude, absolutely insane switches on this thing. I can literally ignore all those other things I mentioned strictly because I like the switches so much. I did see people complain about the stabilizers and, like, a hollow sound. I have a pretty good sound setup. I don't think this sounds hollow. I don't think this sounds hollow or anything at all. Like, the stabs sound really good. Like, they're not bad. I don't think this sounds bad at all. Some people were saying they heard some ticking from the stab, but damn, that sounds nice. Dude, I genuinely think this sounds really good. Like I said, this might sell me on a board that I'm willing to use for this computer. I like it. Again, if this was $189 though, I probably would never pick this up. Really sucks how the silent low profile switches are very expensive. Yeah, it's a $10 premium. And then, okay, actually, before I even take off the switches and stuff, I think the one thing that bugs me that Lofree is doing with this, I really hate the fact that they've kind of like gate-kept the color combos. Like, I don't like the white keycaps on this. I like the black keycaps. I would have liked to mix match the keycaps with the silver case. But you're kind of pigeonholed into buying like one color. You know, if you want the tactile, then you get the black keycaps. If you want the silent, the whole board's white. So I feel like they could have done something there with how they managed the colors for this board. Simple as that. There are those switches. So these are their custom switches they put inside here. They killed it with these. There's the LED you can see too. These things are sweet. It's all color matched too. So if you like small details, they color matched it. Super, super sweet. Love what they did with this. So this is it with flat on the desk. This is it with the feet kicked up. I wouldn't say a huge difference. And then this is it with no desk pad, because some people always ask for that. It does a pretty good job of isolating things. I mean, I've been using this all day today, so I think they did a good job. I really think they did a good job on the sound and the acoustics and the feeling of this keyboard. But let's open this thing up. I want to see inside of it. Those are those feet. Interesting how they did this. And there's like a little piece of foam here. Pretty thin piece of metal. Actually, it's not terribly thin. Even have some sort of protector over here, so I guess nothing gets hit. Here we can see the battery. The battery is actually sitting on that little bezel. I had a feeling they put the battery there. That makes sense, right? Like, they had to put it somewhere, especially because it's 3,000 milliamp. So it's a decent sized battery. There's the JST connector, or I guess the connector rather, for the battery. Then we have a small little daughter board. This guy right over here is the small little daughter board, and that is going to be for the touch sensor on the side. But this is the main daughter board with the USB-C, and then a ribbon cable going towards another JST header there. And then they have this interesting piece of foam. Oh, it is hot swap. Why don't they have that on the website? So it is a hot swap board. There's hot swap sockets on it. And then this is a interesting piece of foam. It's like perfectly cut. I mean, that's really smart of them to do that. This is foam, and they have it cut so it actually just sits perfectly over the keys. I like that. Good on them. That is a really cool cut foam there. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. You can see our space bars. There's a little bit of lube runoff from the space bars there too. And then we have our gaskets. Now, does this keyboard just slide out? It kind of does. You know what we'll do? we're gonna unplug some stuff and take this out. I don't think anyone's done a teardown of this board yet, so I think we might be the first people to do a teardown here. Here is our unit here, something, oh, a little piece of foam or something came off. And it has, I think it's an aluminum plate with gaskets. And it's using like a full gasket structure. That is pretty cool. Can't really take these off super great. I mean, you can, but there'd be no point in taking these off. All right, well, that's neat. And then there is a little bit of foam in between, which you can kind of see is sandwiched in between there. Yeah, okay, you know what? Looking at the construction of the case now, I can see where some design constraints needed to be made to put, you know, like it makes sense how they're doing this. Like, I get it. I get why the touch bar is there. But at the same time, I feel like they could have made some sort of workaround to make this possible. So it was a touch bar on the top, which I think would have looked better too, honestly. And then a touch bar, or sorry, the USB-C on this side. That doesn't look hard to make happen. They could have put the USB-C on the side, on the top. I really don't get why it's on the side. And it does look like they have a little gasket or something on top of this too. I'm not sure why that's there, but putting the USB on the back looks like it'd be tough. Not a lot of space. I actually think they could have done it. Hear me out. I think they could have put the USB-C over here, and then they could have had a ribbon cable at a 90 degree angle. Just come right out. Like, it could have just went poop and then shoot right out. I feel like they could have made that happen. If they actually, you could have even just put the ribbon cable connector right at the edge over here, and then the USB-C right over here. I feel like they could have made it happen. There's the inside, in case you guys were wondering, and there's the back. I'm not sure what brand of sockets these are. Are these Kale? They are Kale, because the switches are probably Kale too. I really appreciate this piece of foam too. I like stuff that's like done with purpose, and this foam you can tell was done with purpose. How's the finish of the machining? It's really good. I'll give them like a huge props here. They did a really good job with the finish and machining, and even just the texture of the keyboard is very premium. It's super simple. Like, this is not much to machine, but they did an excellent job with what they have here. There's all my thoughts and opinions on this board. I like I've always told you guys, I like low profile stuff. I like the typing angle of 1 degree and 6 degree here are super comfy for me. This is a keyboard I can legitimately see myself typing on often and not getting tired of it. But there are shortcomings with this board. The keyboard sounds good. These switches are phenomenal. I love these switches that they put in here. Bye everyone. Love you.